Finally, again, the time has arrived in our 20th year now for America's top states for business. Scott Cohn, I mean, this is like your thing, joins us from this year's top state to tell us at last where he is. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Joe, the wait is finally over. We put the states through their paces in 10 categories of competitiveness, 138 metrics. To reveal this year's top state for business, we turn to a true champion.
I'm Archie Griffin at The Ohio State University, member of the College Football Hall of Fame and the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner. We have a winning team in Ohio, both on and off the field. As someone who was born and raised in the Buckeye State, I want you to know that I'm thrilled to announce that Ohio is America's top state for business. Congratulations to all Ohioans, and as always, go Bucks.
We are live at the Boathouse at the confluence of the Olentangy and Scioto Rivers in Columbus, Ohio, on a beautiful July day. In the 20 years that we have been doing this, only a handful of states have reached this level, the pinnacle of American competitiveness. And now, in 2026, Ohio is among them. Let the countdown begin.
Georgia!
For 20 years, we've crisscrossed the country.
America's top state for business 2013 is South Dakota. Yeah, you got it. It's Texas.
To the places.
Washington State is America's top state for business 2017.
The people.
We're pleased to have you with us.
Welcome back to Texas.
And what an honor it is to have CNBC here.
The personalities.
I'm a survivor.
That make America compete. In 2026, our journey takes us someplace new. Ohio, the Buckeye State, with 1,623 out of 2,500 points. America's top infrastructure, 143 million people live within a day's drive. The lowest cost of doing business, and top 10 rankings in economy, access to capital, and cost of living.
We've been strategically focused on making Ohio literally the go-to state in this country for business.
But there's still work to do. Ohio ranks 23rd for education, large class sizes, declining college funding, and 35th for workforce. So now the State Jobs Agency will invest $300 million over the next decade to recruit and train 500,000 skilled workers.
This is aimed at getting people prepared for real jobs in the real world.
It's been a long climb for Ohio, 30th in our first study in 2007. From the buckle of the Rust Belt to the heart of it all, Ohio, America's top state for business 2026.
Let's show you where we were yesterday for all of those diabolical hints. We were at 2 of Columbus area's 22 metro parks. The Bison were at Battelle Darby Creek Park in Galloway. And the water, that was at Prairie Oaks Metro Park in Hilliard. 2,291 acres and lakes that were used to be quarries. We thank the folks at the Columbus Franklin County Metro Parks for all of their hospitality yesterday. Now, about those hints. What was I talking about? Siren song. Well, Ohio was the home to the first commercial ambulance, 1865, commercial hospital in Cincinnati, the first police car, Akron in 1899, and the first professional fire department, Cincinnati, in 1853. It takes two Wright brothers to invent the airplane. And they, of course, did that in Dayton. Changemaker, well, this is the state where the cash register was invented by James Riddy, who was trying to prevent fraud at his saloon in Dayton. Stop and Go, the first electric traffic light, installed in 1914 at Euclid Avenue and 105th Street, that is, in Cleveland. And ending where we began, Governor, you're going to help me with this,
I.O.
There you go. Mike DeWine is the 70th governor of the state of Ohio. We are happy to have you with us. You are in your final year in office, term limited. Not a bad way to go out.
No, it's a good way to go out. Scott, welcome to Ohio. Thank you for coming, and thank you to CNBC for ranking us #1.
Well, you did it, and we heard you all talk about in your State of the State speech earlier this year how Ohio was strategically focused to become the go-to state for business. And I wonder if you can take us through that strategy a little bit, both what you did that led you to this, but also what didn't work, and what still is sort of a work in progress?
I think one thing we have is what we call Jobs Ohio, where we basically privatized a number of years ago under Governor Kasich. We privatized our economic development. And when I became governor, I started working with them very, very, very closely. They're aligned with everything that we do. It gives us, I think, a strategic advantage. But I think it's a cultural thing in a sense, in two respects. One, we are focused on making this a business-friendly state. Taxes are low. The legislature has been great about leading in regard to that. Water, we have an abundance of water, but we're also taking care of it. H2 Ohio, which is our program that we started 8 years ago, takes care of that water. All those things are important. I think the other part about culture, if I could, is Woody Hayes, former coach of Ohio State, famous coach, said, "You win with people." Ohio has great people, and we have people who are very welcoming. So when people move here, let's say the company moves them here, they get here, okay, what's Ohio all about? And then a few years later, the company said, well, now you need to move on to someplace. No, we don't want to leave. No one wants to leave. Yeah. And so that I think is that culture. We are workers. We get up in the morning and we go to work.
Let's talk a little bit, though, about one of the big issues in this state, and it's a big issue everywhere. You heard the statistics about cost. Ohio does best cost of doing business, which also means low wages, and number 9 for cost of living, so that's not bad, but it's cost of living related to the other states. There's an affordability issue in this state, which one of the pieces of our data that doesn't show up necessarily at the top is you have among the highest property taxes in the country. So what are you doing about affordability, and what can your successor do about affordability?
Well, we took action along with the legislature a few months ago in regard to the property tax. You don't hear people talking about a problem with the income tax or other taxes. We have low income tax. We continue to see that reduced. Property tax is the one thing that, because we rely on property tax for a significant portion of funding our schools, and so we're moving on that. We hear the people, and we've taken action, and we'll continue to do that in the future.
A lot of people say that data centers are contributing to the affordability crisis. You were an early proponent of data centers. Now you've taken back or paused the tax break for data center developers. Are data centers, and you have a huge one going in Pike County, are they contributing to the affordability crisis, and what should be done about that?
Look, I think data centers, Scott, are contributing to our economic development in the state. They draw in other companies and other business. We absolutely know that. But one thing that we have said and we are doing is to make sure that when a data center comes in, they pay their fair share. When they come in, they should not be causing other people's homeowners' rates to go up. The other thing we've told data centers is you need to recycle that water. There's technology today that maybe wasn't in place a number of years ago. That's now in place that we can do that.
We have a resident Ohio person on the set back in New York, Joe.
I for a second, I told Melissa here, I'm teary. I'm teary. And Governor, thank you that it's finally happening. And Scott, they said you were at a boathouse. I thought Governor knows. I'm sure Governor DeWine, you know the boathouse in Cincinnati, in my home. That's where I thought you were for a second. You could have been in Cincinnati if you wanted. I know you know Montgomery but I have a surprise.
Absolutely, we could. I think Scott was just trying to trick you. That's all it was doing. He didn't want you to really know where he was.
I have a surprise for you. I don't do this for just anyone. Uh-oh. I can't do it.
You can't pop it?
No, I can't. I have graffiti here.
Twist a little harder, Joe.
I'm trying. It's not working. What am I?
Well, okay.
Wow. That's even worse than a premature popper, isn't it? Not being able.
It's not popping at all.
I need some help. Sec. Am I not strong enough to do this?
By the way, Governor, Joe is holding this what's called as a party popper.
Are you supposed to take off the
confetti into the air for you?
Maybe I'm supposed to take off the. Bear with me for a second. If I do it, I'm going to do it.
That's all. I feel like I need safety goggles.
Joe is going to be celebrating this for like the next year. Governor, I want to ask you about Jobs Ohio. You mentioned that you privatized the jobs agency, and we know that this is, of all the economic development organizations that we deal with as we're coming up with this, it is one of the most opaque, and it's gotten a lot of criticism for that. I know there's a bill pending to try and make Jobs Ohio more transparent, because this is taxpayer money ultimately. What do you do about that to keep the deals coming in, but also make sure that the taxpayers are looked after?
Well, I think there's a happy medium that we can reach. The thing of what Jobs Ohio has done is given us a real competitive advantage. And I want to stress this for any company that's looking where they want to go. Not only do we have all the advantages that you talked about, but we have follow through. When we talk with a company, Andrew, for example, when they come into Ohio, we sat down with them literally at the governor's residence. My wife Fran and I had them over for dinner. We had Palmer Luckey over and others. But what they said is, look, we want to be in production within a year, but we also want to have the ability to expand out quickly. And so they're now in production, almost ready to production in the next few days. Within, I think, less than a year, they wanted a building. We got them a building, but it's the follow-up. What do we do to make sure that everything that we promised actually occurs? And that coordination between Jobs Ohio and our economic development, and directly the governor's office and the governor and the lieutenant governor, all those things, that follow-up, I think is really the competitive advantage we have.
One of the things that you need to be able to deliver for companies quickly is workers. And I know Jobs Ohio, you just announced, is going to be spending $300 million to get those tech workers. But you may have heard that Ohio finishes 35th for workforce in our study. It's a glaring weak spot. Yeah. Not just because the workers aren't here, but they're not coming and many are leaving. So what do you do about that beyond that investment?
Again, we win with people. We have focused, and we're also in this for the long run. It's a short run, but it is the long run. We have taken on the whole area of literacy. My wife, for example, has spread the Dolly Parton Library, free books in the mail to children 0 to 5. Now in 440,000 homes in the state of Ohio, we lead the country in that. We've focused on the science of reading. We've switched everybody over to that science of reading. We're going to continue to work, frankly, on that. But it's not just early childhood education. It's also, we've really opened things up so that a young person in high school has a lot of choices. We have more private schools in the state than virtually any other state. We have 14 great public universities. But in addition to that...
but you're also cutting funding to your public universities. What's going on with that, and what do you need to do to restore them?
I don't think the evidence shows we're cutting. But look, we are also focusing on the student, to give the student choice. We say in Ohio, if you're in the top 5%, we don't care if you're in Ripley, Ohio, or you're in Cleveland, you're in the top 5% of your graduating high school class, you're going to get $20,000, five times 4, and you can go to any state school for that, or you can pick a private school in the state of Ohio. We've seen the number of kids in that cohort. It was at 60% that would go to school in Ohio. Now we're into about 85% since we put that into effect. So we are focused on that school choice and giving that student more assets so that they can take that and go where they want to go.
Yeah. Joe's got another question.
Yeah, my first.
Did you get it open, Joe? Did it pop up?
I'm gonna try. It's very, to not be able to do it. It's embarrassing, but. I want to talk to you about the possibility of another. I'm a St. X grad from Cincinnati. I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a St. X grad as well. Is he destined to be governor in your view? And would that? I mean, did you back him? Did you back him?
Yes, I back him. I support him. I think he'll be a good governor. He told me, we've had a lot of conversations, that he's really focused on two big things. One's economic development and one's education. Those are very, very important. But look, it's a close race. The last polls show them pretty much he and Amy Acton pretty much did even.
You worked with Amy Acton.
I did.
You came into office basically to COVID, and she was
Well, I picked her to be when I picked my cabinet. I picked her to be the head of the Department of Health.
So if she's elected, the polls are absolutely a dead heat right now. Is that a tragedy for Ohio in your view?
Look, Ohio, one thing about Ohio, whether we've had Democrat governors or Republican governors, they are either center left or center right. This is a state that has stability. And that's one of the things we tell people. We are predictable. We're not going to have any big changes that's going to bother you for bringing your company in here. What we tell you today, it's going to continue to be true 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We're going to continue to focus on education and we have to continue to focus on that environment, that good pro-business environment that you have I wouldn't say discovered, you recognize.
Yeah. Mike DeWine is the 70th governor of the state of Ohio. Again, congratulations. You can now see where your state ranks. Our full top state study is online at topstates.cnbc.com. Ohio is America's top state for business 2026. Guys?